Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your watch at Divine. All right, man. Before we get into this video, make sure the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. If you haven't already, when you hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified every time I upload. Without further ado, let's get up into it. All right, man. So, you know, I remember in the video, I remember saying something along the lines, and of course, I got my clip back in the background, so I'm gonna let it loop and we'll talk about it. I've said somewhere in a video that I feel like abilities shouldn't have a place in Madden because, you know, back in Madden 07, 08, that's when we started getting, you know, the different abilities. Not necessarily abilities, but, you know, we had icons, you know what I mean? The icons didn't necessarily didn't do anything but just tell you what kind of player that person was. The only thing that had weight was the smart players, you know, the ones that had a light bulb on them. But the thing about this here, and this is what kills me, you know, in Madden 22, 21, and between, what was it, 20, 21, and 22, we started having the ability for X factors and abilities. Now, the only thing that I don't like about abilities is it doesn't trigger 100% of the time. You know what I mean? Take this play for here, for example, right now. The last video that I talked about, which was the video where this guy threw the ball and I picked it off, and I was talking about how CPU coverage is useful. So this was the same guy I played, but we went to overtime. And he beat me just based off this play here. Now, to anybody else, y'all see this and it's like, oh, well, you just got beat. So what? Get better. Get good. Adapt. You know what I'm saying? Adjust. That's your fault why you lost. Whatever. So in this situation here, I have Ed Reed, right? And this guy is, if he's not all the way maxed out, he's, I think, one behind being maxed out, right? But he can play in his zone as the stats say that he's supposed to, and I have Acrobat on him, right? Now, could this have been a pick? Maybe, who knows? But at the same exact time, this should have been a swat down. Because you obviously see him turned around looking for the ball, or he sees where the ball is, but instead he just turns around, not even turn around, but sticks a hand up behind his back or over his head and hopes that his hand hits the ball, hope that the ball comes to his hand and he knocks it down, instead of him doing an athletic turnaround swat down because he has the ability to do so. You know what I mean? Acrobat doesn't also just mean that, oh, we should be only able to make acrobatic catches. No, I've seen acrobat trigger when you swat a ball down, and he does it in the most acrobatic way possible. You know what I mean? These abilities in Madden, they make you scratch your head even more to figure out why didn't it trigger? Why didn't it this? Why didn't it that? So it stings a lot more when you're playing against somebody, you're putting your all into it, and you're like, yo, what's going on? Why didn't it trigger? You know what I'm saying? I got Acrobat on 90% of my players. At least everybody on defense damn near has it. Whoever can get it, I'll put it on them. You know what I mean? And it doesn't trigger all the time. You know what I mean? It lets guys get away with being just so careless with the ball that knowing the fact that if coverage was the way it's supposed to be, like if it was like the coverage in 15 and 16, guys would be a lot more smarter with the way they passing these balls, bro. I promise you. Pause on that. You know what I mean? But this here, I lost because the Acrobat wouldn't trigger. Now, some people will see this and think I'm just complaining because I lost. No, the point I'm trying to make is why have abilities on here and they don't trigger when they're supposed to? There was no reason for that to even happen. Ed Reed has 99 zone coverage. No joke. He has 99 zone coverage and he has at least 95 awareness. I'm not even sure if there's thresholds. I don't even think that there's thresholds. But the point I'm trying to make is the stats matter so bad. Why exactly are you pretending like Ed Reed is not acrobatic enough to go up there and swat some shit down? You know what I mean? Ed Reed is a hawk on the zones, bro. He is a hawk back there. So there should have been no reason why he just let that fly. I lost because of this. You know what I mean? If you're going to have abilities, I'd rather you just hard code it into a player instead of me having to put it on. And then when it doesn't trigger, you'll have me sit there trying to figure out, why didn't it trigger? But what's crazy is you can go on offense, right? And you can put escape artists on the quarterback and it'll trigger 100% of the time with no issue. But on defense, Acrobat doesn't trigger all the time. I wonder how that works. You know what I mean? That is why Madden is just the way it is. That is why I can't become competitive in Madden because of shit like this. You know what I mean? I'm not even mad at the fact that I lost the game. I'm mad at the fact that I lost in this fashion. You know what I mean? Because that was one of those things where it was like, what else could I have done? I couldn't have done nothing else. And mind you, I used that the entire way. Of course, I don't have the help menu up, so you can't see that I'm using it, but I literally controlled this all the way to the end, and this is what they did to me with Acrobat on. Make it make sense for me, EA. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. You know what I mean? But like I said, abilities don't have a place in Madden. And as long as we have abilities in this game, and if the logic behind them isn't tight enough, you're going to continue to have games where it either makes or breaks you. But this right here broke me. So EA, I don't know what kind of activities y'all got going on, but this ain't it. Abilities have no place in Madden. We're not talking about the icons in 07 and 08. We're not talking about that. We're talking about abilities that's supposed to make players quote unquote stand out, but they don't even trigger 100% of the time. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below, man. Appreciate all the love and support y'all been showing the videos, man. I really appreciate it, man. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread links, because you know how I do. But I'm gonna go and get up out of here. I'm getting tongue tied like shit. Yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Devon, and I'm signing out. Peace.